To my channel. Today we are working on programming challenge 6, and this programming challenge is to create an interface called Analyzable that would modify the class that we worked on in the last programming challenge. The class that we are modifying is called CourseGrades, and this class we have to return getHighest average and getLowest on average and get the average score. And before I read this paragraph in the book, I thought they meant it. We have to calculate the average based on the four classes that we worked on last programming challenge. But when I read it again, I realized they only want to calculate the tests that has numeric score. And if you remember the last day programming challenge, only two tests has a numeric score: the lab test and the essay test. The other two don't have a numeric score, so we only will return the average on these tests. So let's create the interface first. We will call it is called Analyzable. It is not a class, it's an interface. And interface, they gave us the methods that the interface has, or the fields, and we have to import the graded activity that we worked earlier in this series. And they also said in the description we have to use the CourseGrades class, and it will create a class called CourseGrades, and we will just copy the previous class that we worked on, since they are basically identical. So in this class, we have to implement the analyzable interface. That's the whole point of this programming challenge. And we have to implement the methods that the interface has. So the first method that we have to work on is called getAverage. So we have to return the average of the lab test and the essay, right? First, we have to get the lab score, and we will say grades 0 get score, and we have to get the essay score. The score is grade of 2, the index is 2, get score. And all we have to do is to return lab plus essay divided by 2. If you wanted to calculate the average of all classes, what you would do is you will create a variable called total here. Then you will go through all the classes in the array, then you will add to the total grades of I get score. And all you have to do in the return statement is to divide the total with grades dot length. That would return the average of all 4 classes. But that's not what the instruction says in the book I have. It says only the tests with a numeric value. That's the one we have to calculate the average on. So we will say lab plus SA divided by 2. So we'll just comment out this. And here, the next method that we have to work on is called getHighest, the highest score. So basically, we have to return the reference of the class that has the highest score. So again, we only are interested in the 2 classes, the 2 tests, the lab and the essay. And what we want to do is we want to return the highest score among these 2 tests, the lab and the essay. And easier way to do that is to say if lab is greater than essay, if lab score is greater than essay, question mark grades 0 or grades 2. So basically what we are saying is if the score of the lab is greater than essay, then return the reference of the lab test. If it is not greater than essay, that means the essay is greater than the lab. In that case, return the reference of the essay class. If you wanted to return the highest score of all classes, right? What you would do is you will create a double variable called highest. Then you will say you will go through the entire classes. Then what you would do is you would say if grades highest, this would go through all the scores, all the indexes, all the scores of all the tests. If this get score is greater than grades of highest get score. If that is the case, then we are interested in the index of that. Okay, maybe we want to change the data type to int instead of double. So we will get the index of that class or test. Then all you have to do is to return is grades with the index highest. That's what you would have done if you wanted to return. If you wanted to return the highest score of all the tests. But that's not what we want because we're only interested only 2 classes. And we have to copy this again one more time. And here for this method, we have to basically do the same thing that we did in the getHighest method, but in reverse. So we have to return if lab is less than the essay, and if so, we will return the reference of lab test. Otherwise, we will return the essay, which has which the location is the index 2. So that would be it. And if you wanted to return the lowest score of all the tests, all you have to do is to just copy this, and instead of saying greater here, you would have said less than, and then change the variable to lowest and return here. That's all you want to do if you want to return the lowest in the all tests. So that is it for all the methods that we have to implement in the interface. So we have to print it. In this, in the main method, we create the course grades. We don't want this here, and we remove this. So we created the course grade here, and we instantiated all 4 classes: the essay, the pass-fail, the lab, and the final exam. And we set all the methods. Here we print the test information. After the last statement, we will print the methods that we created. We will say highest, average. We will say course, get highest. We will say lowest, average, and we will return get, not average, we want get lowest. And lastly, what we want to do is to say average, and we'll say course, get average, and %. So we will run the program and see if we got it right. It says challenge challenge 5. That's not what we want. We want to see the score. We don't want the reference. We don't want the reference of the test. We want the score. So what we will do is here, get lowest, we will say get score, and here get highest, we will say get score as well. And This will change now. Run again. As you can see, the highest average is 29, the lowest average is 27, and the average is 28%. So we're only interested in the first test, which is the lab. The first score is 27 out of 30, and the second test that we are interested in is the essay, which has a 29 out of 30. So between 29 and 27, 29 is obviously the higher score among the two tests, and 27 is the lower score. And when you add 27 plus 29 and divided by 2, you get 28%. So I think that's what they wanted. If they wanted us to print the average of all tests, the lab, the pass-fail, the essay, and final exam, all we have to do is just to modify a couple of things in our methods, and the results would be similar. So I think we accomplished what they asked for, and we created, we basically copied the interface that they gave us in the book, Analyzable, and we used the CourseGrades class as they instructed us to do. We implemented Analyzable, and we created the 3 methods: getAverage, getHighest, and getLowest. So I think that would be it for this programming challenge. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a like and comment if you have any questions. This will help me a lot. And if you like this kind of videos, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.